Who are the guardians? Before you're born into this world, you have a set of lessons that you wish to learn. You have a set of other souls that you wish to have experiences with, whether if it's soulmates, transitional, or even your twin flame. They come with you into this world, and you with them to learn and to grow and to remind yourself of who you really are. Guardians take on many forms. They're not limited to one vibration, one message, or one way. First, I want to explain what happens during a reading. When a client comes to me, and for clarity, the guardians call my clients seekers. When a seeker comes to me, what happens is between the guardians and myself, there is a gold circle that is created. In the circle of light, what happens is the guardians will show my seekers aura field to help me translate what's going on. The guardians that give the translation are the seeker's guardians. What that means is that if someone comes to me for a reading, it's not my guardians doing the reading, it's actually their guardians giving me the translation to give to the seeker. Guardians, when they give messages, their intention is never to make a decision, because it's very, very important to remember that the law of free will states that when we come into this world, we have 100% control on what we want to learn, where we want to grow. The guardians will never make the decision for us. They will give us guidance, sort of like an energy forecast of what energy is surrounding that seeker in order for them to find their power or to reconnect them to what they want to learn or where they want to grow. So in the circle of gold light, what happens is the seeker's aura is presented. The best way I could describe most auras are, it looks like you could see an outline of rays of light coming forward. It's very similar to if you look at a candle and you see the rays of light coming off the flame, and however coming off the flame, the colors or the vibrations depend on where the seeker is with their lesson or who they are, and depending on what the guardian wants them to know. Once the seeker's aura field is presented to me, their guardians will come forward and pull one light to me so that we can get a deeper translation. This light, aura field, or energy cord can be a message about their past lives, about their own psychic or healing abilities, or even the energy that they're currently working on. Then what happens is the guardian will come forward and show a frequency or aura field beyond the energy cord, giving a detailed description of where the frequency is going and how the guardian is using, or how the seeker is using their power. What happens next is the guardian will then give guidance, or what I call homework, for the seeker to help them see more of their power. And one thing with the guardians, you never have to do exactly what they say. They never say that. What they'll do though is they'll give guidance what they think will help us, and then we use our intuition if we connect to it or not. The first type of guardian I'm going to speak about are known as star guardians. Star guardians look like strings of starlight that you can feel their power and you can feel their wisdom when they step forward. Those who have star guardians are often a soul who has many, many lives as either highly psychically trained, high healer abilities, or deep past lives where they worked in different dimensions, different frequencies, so they have very high knowledge. And the star guardian is with this soul to help them connect to either these past lives or to these vibrations to help bring this knowledge in. A lot of those who have star guardians are souls that have chosen this world because they know they're here for a reason. They're here to remind humanity that they're better than what they are. So they're here for a very, very specific gift to this world. So that's when a star Tree guardians are guardians who, when they present themselves, are actually in various physical forms of trees. And when they present themselves, this is a sign that this particular soul has a very, very sacred connection to this planet and to her spirit. A tree guardian is someone who will remind that soul of their own magic or their own spiritual abilities to hear and connect with nature, the animals, the sky, everything. Tree guardians are they're a little bit more serious compared to other guardians. They're very focused. When there's a lesson to be at hand, or when a seeker has forgotten their power, they're a little bit more stern compared to other seekers. They're also very much about sending animals or working with the animals with that seeker. So often with a tree guardian, that seeker will be often guided to connect with animals or watch the animals to connect. The next group of guardians I call the lights, because they're not in one form. They're very hard to explain, because usually what they'll do is when they present themselves, on a physical level, we'll see a flash of white light in the corner of our eye, and this is them presenting themselves. They're very, very free. They're almost like the wind, like they're always moving, they're constantly connecting us, and they're very much about reminding us that we have a divine right to be happy. We have a divine right to laugh. And when the lights are presented, it's usually because the seeker is going through maybe a heavy energy right now, or a very sad energy, or they have really forgotten themselves. The lights will come in, and the seekers will have seen them before they come to a reading, where they're like, yes, I know this, I've seen them, or I've been noticing the lights. Another way the lights will show themselves is they will flicker lights, like a lamp or a street light, something will flicker, and that will be their way to show themselves. The light guardians are very, very strong about not creating fear for us. They're very much about reminding us of the joy that is in this world. The last group of guardians I want to speak to you about, I call them sage guardians. Sage guardians, when they come forward, they're often with us for a very specific lesson or a very specific cycle that we are learning or connecting with. So they're here very short term, and as a seeker, what we'll feel is this change of focus. Like, we'll feel this energy where maybe we'll go from very scattered, very like, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, to all of a sudden there is this intense clarity and direction that we've never had before that moment, either for if it's like a relationship, a job, a situation, what you want to learn, what you want to grow. That clarity will come in, and that's one of the signs of a sage guardian. So a sage guardian is, the best way I could describe them, are kind of like the teachers of teachers. They come in when it's like, okay, it's time to do this lesson, it's time to get this completed, so that you can graduate from this cycle or this lesson and prepare for the next journey or the next. From time to time, guardians will step into our world. I'm going to share with you now a physical encounter with a guardian that my mom and my sister and I had back in 2009. On May 27, 2009, approximately 1:58 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time in Nova Scotia, Canada, we just finished a movie when my mom went out for a smoke in the backyard. She called my sister and I in because there was a strange light in the sky that kept moving back and forth. I ran outside to see the light, and I never seen anything quite like this. So I ran back inside and grabbed the camera, and I took a few pictures. Now, the pictures that you're going to see are as fast as I could, and to give you an idea of what's happening, because these are still photos, is this form, this guardian, and I do feel like this was a physical being coming into our world, would go from like maybe 2 or 3 meters to easily maybe 50 meters. It was massive, and it would keep shifting forms back and forth in the western sky. we were the only ones up, and it was so bright that its light would reflect on the trees, and it would be massive, and it would do these different shapes and figure eights and sacred geometry. It was just incredible. So the following are the photos that we have, and I would love to hear below what you see. What do you think of this?